I never imagined pain could have a sound until I heard my husband whisper, "Anita, please don't cry. You know how I feel about you." The words hit me like a moving vehicle. I stood behind the half-closed bedroom door, my heart shivering so hard it felt like it would burst out of my chest. My feet were trembling, my breath weak, sweat gathered on my forehead. This was Kelvin, my husband of 4 years. And Anita, my best friend of 17 years. The girl I shared noodles with during Hunger Days. The girl who stayed in my house for months when she had nowhere else to go. The girl I defended even when she was wrong. Now she was seated on my bed, her head resting on my husband's shoulder, crying like she was the one being betrayed. "You deserve better than Grace," she sobbed. "She doesn't support your dreams. She doesn't understand you." My jaw dropped. I, Grace, who carried Kelvin through joblessness. I, Grace, who borrowed money to pay our rent. I, Grace, who starved so he could eat. I froze. Neither of them noticed me at first. I stood in the doorway, my heart hammering so loudly I could hear it echo inside my chest. Then I heard it. Kelvin's voice, low and trembling. "Anita, please, don't cry. You know how I feel about you." It felt like the floor beneath me cracked. My breath vanished. My fingers went numb. Anita sniffed and lifted her face to him. "Kelvin," she whispered, "I'm just tired. I can't keep watching you suffer. Grace doesn't appreciate you. She doesn't respect you. She doesn't see the man you are." She said my name with a softness that stabbed deeper than a shout. Kelvin sighed and rubbed her back slowly, too gently. "Don't worry," he murmured. "Everything will soon make sense." Everything in me shattered, not because they were sitting too close, not because Anita's hand rested on his thigh, not because Kelvin didn't pull away, but because I suddenly realized something chilling. I wasn't catching them by surprise. I was walking into a moment that had been happening long before today. My legs felt weak, but anger steadied me. My voice rose before I could think. "Kelvin!" They both jerked up, startled. Anita's eyes widened in guilt, then quickly shifted into a rehearsed innocence. Kelvin stood, shock and panic flashing across his face. "Grace, it's not what you think." But the truth was written all over the room. The closeness, the whispered comfort, the shared pain, the emotional intimacy that no longer existed between us. Anita slowly stood up too, her expression soft, but the softness was the kind that hid snakes behind eyelashes. "Grace, please," she said gently. "Kelvin was just telling me about your arguments. I was comforting him. You misunderstood." "Misunderstood?" My husband's guilt-filled eyes told the real story. I looked at Kelvin, this man I had loved with everything in me, and for the first time, I didn't recognize him. "Kelvin," I whispered, my voice shaking, "how long has this been happening?" Silence. He couldn't look at me. Anita quickly answered for him, stepping closer to me like she still had the right. "Grace, stop overreacting. Nothing is happening. You're just too emotional." That word, emotional, hit me harder than the betrayal. It was the word Kelvin had been using for months. The word Anita had planted in him. The word that had slowly crippled my confidence. And in that moment, standing under the dim bulb, with my best friend beside my husband, I realized something heartbreaking. I had lost them long before I walked into this room. My world didn't break that night. It had already broken. Tonight was simply the night I finally saw the pieces. Before betrayal entered my life like a thief in the night, there was once a time filled with laughter, innocence, and dreams that shined so brightly they blinded me to danger. Long before Kelvin and Anita tore my heart apart, they were simply two people I loved with pure sincerity, one as a friend, the other as a man I hoped to build forever with. But looking back now, I realized the storm didn't come suddenly. The sky was warning me long before the first lightning struck. I just wasn't paying attention. I met Anita when we were teenagers. Two girls in their school uniforms, white shirts slightly faded, skirts touching our knees, socks never fully white, shoes worn out from Lagos dust. She wore her confidence like jewelry. I wore my shyness like armor. But somehow we connected instantly. I remember the first day clearly. After school, standing under the mango tree near the gate, Anita approached me with a smile that could melt stone. "You're Grace, right?" she asked, her tone warm, curious. I nodded. "Good," she said. "From today, I'm your friend. I like your quietness. Let's be quiet together." But Anita was never quiet. She was fire, loud laughter, quick anger, dramatic stories. I was water, calm, gentle, easily rising and falling. We balanced each other. We shared everything: biscuits, notes, secrets, tears, gossip, dreams. As we grew older, we became the kind of friends people envied. We celebrated birthdays together, bought matching clothes from Yaba Market, and slept at each other's houses. Our surroundings changed, from classroom corridors to busy Lagos bus stops to quiet compound evenings, but our friendship stayed strong. Or so I thought. I met Kelvin at a church youth program in Surulere. I was 25, wearing a modest blue gown and low heels. My mood was peaceful that day, hopeful, ready for new beginnings after a rough breakup. Kelvin wore a crisp white shirt and black trousers, clean haircut, confident smile. He had that quiet charm, the type that doesn't shout for attention but pulls you in slowly. He approached me after the service. "Hi, I'm Kelvin," he said warmly. "Grace," I replied, feeling butterflies dance in my stomach. We talked for hours. He listened to me attentively. He asked about my dreams. He smiled like he had known me for years. Before long, we were inseparable. Dating Kelvin felt safe, warm, promising. He was kind, soft-spoken, hard-working. He sent me good morning messages, prayed with me, planned with me. I thought I had found my future. I didn't know I was welcoming my destruction with open arms. When Anita knew about the relationship, she encouraged it. Kelvin proposed on a warm Sunday evening at Freedom Park. The lights twinkled around us, high-life music floated in the air, and the night felt magical. I cried. Anita screamed louder than I did. She hugged me tightly, saying, "Grace, you deserve this. Kelvin is perfect for you." She helped me pick wedding colours, plan the reception, look for venues. She was my right hand, my planner, my comfort. On my wedding day, she wore a sky blue bridesmaid gown, her short black wig framing her smiling face. She danced beside me, cheered beside me, laughed beside me. Her mood that day seemed pure joy. But now I know. Some smiles hide envy. Some blessings hide resentment. Some friends hide daggers behind their backs. Looking back, the warning signs were there, shining like red billboards. I just didn't want to see them. One Saturday, Anita invited us to a small housewarming party at her new apartment. I said yes. I shouldn't have. I should have stayed home. I should have listened to the voice in my chest screaming, "Don't go." That evening, Anita wore a short red gown that hugged her curves, her makeup soft and glowing, her mood excited and almost flirtatious. Kelvin kept staring at her. Not long, Not boldly, but enough for me to notice a shift in the air. Her new apartment was neat. White walls, gold curtains, framed photos, scented candles, soft R and B playing. The surroundings felt intimate, warm, seductive. Too seductive. At some point during the evening, Kelvin stepped aside to take a call outside. I looked up and caught Anita watching him from the balcony, with eyes too soft to be innocent. She turned to me with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Grace," she whispered, "hold your husband well. Oh, men are unpredictable." It felt like a joke, but her voice wasn't joking. Later that night, Kelvin complimented her apartment, her decor, her cooking, everything. He didn't compliment me once. I left her house with heavy steps, my mood troubled, my spirit uneasy. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. And deep inside, a voice whispered, "You should not have come here." But I ignored it. I didn't know that night was the beginning of the end. The beginning of secrets. The beginning of betrayal. The beginning of a darkness I didn't yet understand. Kelvin walked into the living room. He looked tired, irritated, distant. I couldn't explain it, but my husband had started wearing that mood like clothing. It fit him too easily these days. I was arranging clothes in a basket when he suddenly cleared his throat sharply. "Grace, can we talk?" The sound of my name in that cold tone made my heart sink. "Okay, what happened?" I asked quietly. He didn't sit. He stood over me like a supervisor about to announce a punishment. "I feel like you're becoming too suspicious. It's draining me." Suspicious? My chest tightened. I hadn't accused him of anything. "Kelvin, I've not said anything today. What are you talking about?" He wiped his forehead dramatically. "See, this tone, this attitude. You want to control me. You want to monitor my friendships." Friendships. The word stabbed me deeper than an insult, because lately that friendship always meant Anita. My best friend. My sister in everything but blood. Kelvin continued. "Every time Anita comes around, you frown. You make her uncomfortable." I blinked in confusion. "Me? Kelvin, she's the one who—" "Don't start," he snapped. The rope snapped. My hands trembled. "Kelvin, I've known Anita for 17 years. You've known her for 5 months. Why is she coming before me?" He turned away like he couldn't stand the sight of me. "Because she's gentle, she listens, she respects me." The words hit like a slap. Gentle, listens, respects. Things he once praised in me. Suddenly the man who used to hold my face with both hands and whisper, "You're my peace," was staring at me like I was his enemy. As if controlled by invisible hands, my memories drifted painfully to the early days of our marriage, when he would rush home just to sit with me, when we would share stories over instant noodles, laughing at how life humbled our romantic cooking plans. But now, every smile he gave Anita felt stolen from me. Every softness reserved for her felt like a betrayal wrapped in politeness. Kelvin finally sat on the far end of the couch, putting distance between us. "You need to work on yourself," he muttered. "Your jealousy is becoming toxic." My breath caught. Toxic. A word I never expected from the man who once prayed for me during job interviews, who held me through panic attacks, who swore he would protect my heart. I swallowed the lump in my throat. "Kelvin, I am not jealous. I'm just confused. Why do you talk to her more than you talk to me? Why does she know things you haven't told me? Why do you defend her more than your own wife?" He smirked. A small, cruel smirk that didn't belong on his face. "Because she understands me." The room spun. Right there, in our home, my best friend had become the standard used to measure my failure as a wife. Love stopped being a bond, it became a weapon he used to stab me silently. Every sigh, every accusation, every moment he compared me to Anita. It felt like he was rewriting our marriage chapter by painful chapter. And I was losing. I stared at the man I once trusted with every piece of me and realized something that felt like death. Kelvin was slipping away. Not gradually, deliberately. Anita wasn't just visiting too often. She was replacing me, brick by brick, smile by smile, conversation by conversation. And Kelvin was letting her. That night, after Kelvin stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door, I stayed on the couch, hugging myself to stop shaking. My heart kept whispering the question my mind wasn't ready to accept. What do you do when the two people you love most become the source of your deepest pain? I invited Anita over so we could talk, maybe to understand me better as woman to woman. Oh God, I was so stupid. Inferiority complex made me believe I was the problem. The sun was already sinking when Anita arrived. She always dressed to impress, even for simple visits. Tight jeans, soft pink top, silver earrings, hair perfectly laid. Today she wore confidence like perfume. Except her mood was icy. She looked around our living room, almost claiming it with her eyes. Then she faced me. Kelvin told me you're becoming a problem. My vision blurred. A problem? Yes. She dropped her handbag dramatically on the chair. He said you're paranoid, jealous, toxic. Toxic again. So they had discussed me, together. Anita folded her arms. Look, Grace, I've tried to be patient with you. I've done nothing wrong, but your insecurity is making Kelvin unhappy. Each word was a stab. She wasn't even hiding her dominance anymore. I took a shaky breath. Anita, you're crossing boundaries. You're too close to my husband. She laughed. A cold, sharp laugh that sliced straight through me. Aha, your husband comes to me because he needs peace. So maybe instead of blaming me, ask yourself why he prefers talking to me. The room spun. Then came her final strike, subtle in tone but brutal in impact. Grace, maybe Kelvin deserves better. Someone who understands him. Someone who doesn't suffocate him. My heart stopped. Anita, what are you saying? Her eyes gleamed with something dark. Something victorious. I'm saying you're losing him, and it's not my fault if he chooses happiness. Maybe you should work on your body. My knees weakened. Not my fault. If he chooses happiness, maybe you should work on your body. Those were not the words of a friend. They were the words of a woman who had already crossed the line and wasn't planning to step back. It hit me with terrifying clarity. Anita wasn't trying to destroy my marriage by accident. She was doing it intentionally. The visits, the friendship, the late-night calls, the emotional dependence, the comparisons, the gaslighting. It had all been a silent battle, and I was just realizing I had been fighting alone. My voice broke. Anita, why? I loved you like a sister. She grabbed her bag and stood tall. Love is not enough if you can't keep your man. My heart shattered. Her final words before she walked out. Kelvin will come to me eventually. Stop struggling. The door clicked shut. I sank to the floor, unable to breathe. The day everything fell apart didn't announce itself with thunder. No warning, no sign. Just a simple morning in Lagos. Clear skies, calm breeze. Yet my entire life was about to crumble publicly. Kelvin returned home that evening with a strange energy. He wore a crisp blue shirt and black trousers, freshly ironed, looking more put together than usual. Almost like a man preparing for a performance, not a conversation. His mood was stiff, jaw clenched, eyes cold. "Grace," he said, standing in the center of the living room, as if addressing a stranger, "we can't continue like this. I want a divorce." The world stood still. Silence rang in my ears. "Kelvin, what?" My voice came out thin, cracked. He didn't hesitate. "You're emotionally draining, you're paranoid. You create problems where there are none. I need peace. You can't give me that." The same sentences Anita had used. The same poison. Word for word. My legs felt numb. "Kelvin, please. At least talk to me." "What did I do?" He shrugged, a cold, heartless shrug. "I'm not happy anymore. And Anita agrees that this is the best decision." "And that name, that intrusion." My voice trembled. "Kelvin, you told Anita before telling me." He didn't blink. He didn't see anything wrong with what he said next. "She's been helping me through this. She understands me better." My heart broke cleanly in one painful, unforgiving snap. By the next day, the news had circulated like wildfire. I didn't even know Kelvin had told people. But suddenly, whispers followed me everywhere, at the market, in church, even in my own compound. She pushed her husband away. She's too jealous that Anita girl was just trying to help. I heard she's the toxic one. The betrayal wasn't just in my home anymore. It was in every pair of eyes watching me. Even Anita added fuel to the fire. She visited our compound, wearing a simple white top and jeans, pretending to be sorrowful. Her mood was calm. Too calm. A woman enjoying the drama she created. People gathered as she spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Kioma is still my friend, oh, but she has anger issues. She pushed Kelvin away with her behavior. I warned her, but she never listened." Lies. Deliberate, calculated lies. My lips trembled as I came down the stairs and saw her surrounded by neighbors. "Anita, stop lying," I whispered. She turned to me with innocent eyes as if I was the aggressor. "Grace, I'm helping you. Accept your faults so healing can begin." Gasps filled the compound. Whispers resumed. "That girl was the problem. She's forming victim. Maybe Anita is the real wife material." No wonder Kelvin left. I felt naked, exposed, torn apart. My hands shook. "Why are you doing this to me?" I whispered. She stepped closer, lowered her voice so only I could hear, her face still smiling for the audience. "Because you lost already. Don't make it harder on yourself." Then she hugged me, hugged mine in front of everyone, pretending to be the friend trying to help while whispering, "Kelvin will marry me soon. Stop embarrassing yourself. Work on your big fat body." My body froze. My soul fractured. And the worst part? People believed her. I was painted as the jealous wife, the insecure woman, the toxic partner who destroyed her own marriage, the one who couldn't keep her husband. No one saw the late-night calls. No one noticed the subtle shifts. No one felt the coldness creeping into my home. No one witnessed the emotional affair unfolding in the slow, painful motion. They believed the pretty face, the soft-spoken voice, the pretend humility, Anita's accurate performance of innocence. And me? I was the villain in my own story. On the day the divorce papers were signed, Anita posted a picture on WhatsApp. "Sometimes God removes people from your life to protect you." I knew it was for me. It stabbed me deeper than the divorce. After our divorce, I stopped eating, stopped smiling, stopped believing in myself. I cried myself to sleep. I woke up crying. My mother tried. My sister tried. But heartbreak is a private war. Nobody can fight it for you. One night, I looked at myself in the mirror and didn't recognize the woman staring back. Sunken eyes, pale lips, lost soul. I whispered, "Grace, who are you now?" I didn't know. I began healing. Slowly, quietly. I changed my hair, changed my routine. Started going for morning walks. Started saving little money. Started focusing on myself. I got a new job in a small consulting firm. My boss loved my work. My confidence returned. I began reading books on healing and self-worth. I attended church regularly. I opened a boutique shop as a side hustle. I surrounded myself with new positive people, little by little. The light returned. One day, I woke up and realized I no longer missed Kelvin. I no longer hated Anita. I no longer felt small. I had become a new woman, a stronger woman. I was arranging fabrics in my small but growing boutique in Abuja when I saw a shadow at the entrance, Kelvin. He looked nothing like the confident man who had thrown me away. His once well-groomed beard was patchy, his shirt wrinkled, mood defeated. There was a tiredness in his eyes I had never seen before, a kind of pain that life itself forces on a person. "Grace, my love," he whispered. My breath caught, but this time not from love, from a mixture of shock and the strange neutrality that comes after healing. "What do you want, Kelvin?" I asked calmly. He swallowed hard. I messed up. Everything is falling apart. Anita, she ruined my life. Karma had arrived, and it wore stilettos. I folded my arms. "Kelvin, speak clearly." He sat on the nearest chair like a man who had been running for years. "Anita lied to me, used me. She controlled everything, my money, my decisions, even my friends. I thought she loved me." His voice broke. "Grace, she was never the woman I thought she was." I didn't react. He needed this. He needed to hear himself. From what I later learned, Anita, once the queen of soft smiles and calculated charm, was living a life that karma had turned upside down. She had moved into Kelvin's house, expecting the fairy tale happily ever after. Instead, her job fired her after she forged Kelvin's signature to take a loan. Her landlord chased her from the former apartment she kept for privacy, unaware Kelvin discovered her paying rent with his missing 1.5 million naira. Her social circle abandoned her when she started borrowing money and spreading lies that no longer made sense. And worst of all, Kelvin found out she had been cheating with a married businessman the entire time. She was destroying my marriage. The same way she stole. Someone stole from her. The same manipulation she used. Someone used it on her. The same betrayal she served. It was now her daily bread. Karma didn't just walk, it danced. Kelvin rubbed his face with both hands. "Kioma, Anita took everything. She left me with nothing. And when I lost my job because of her drama, she walked out. For the first time ever, I didn't feel pain. I felt clarity. Kelvin," I said softly, "you defended her while she destroyed us." He nodded shamefully. "You humiliated me publicly." Another nod. "You believed her lies and made me the villain in my own marriage." His eyes filled. "Babe, please, I'm begging. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I need you back. I need your forgiveness." Forgiveness. The same word he never gave me. but I wasn't angry anymore. Life had taught me gently, there is power in letting karma speak for you. I sat opposite him. Kelvin, I forgave you a long time ago, but forgiveness is not an invitation to return. His face fell. My love, I'm ready to change. Give me one more chance. I smiled sadly. I've changed too. And the woman I've become? She cannot go back to the place that broke her. A tear slipped from his eye. Another. Then he broke down completely, shoulders shaking, hands trembling, voice cracking. But I didn't move to comfort him. Healing had taught me boundaries. Today, when I look back, I don't cry. I smile. Because losing Kelvin and Anita didn't break me. It built me. Their betrayal pushed me to discover my strength. Their lies forced me to find my truth. Their actions pushed me into a higher life. I learned some losses are blessings in disguise. Some enemies are hidden teachers. Some heartbreaks are divine redirections. Now I tell every woman, don't die because somebody cannot see your value. Don't shrink for anyone. Don't beg for love. Don't fear starting again. Your story is not over. Mine wasn't. It was just beginning.